All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. It's the one and only Gorilla Economist, and he is the Algo Cowboy. And we are here this morning live on Algo Factory Tech. It's the place where you not only learn how to build the algorithms and learn to trade, but you get the entire kit and caboodle. You know what's going to happen in the markets that you're interested in before it even happens. We have it all forecasted and locked down over here. Between the macros and the micros, we bring it to you like nobody else. Join us for less than the price of a bottle of water. Algo Factory Tech. Cowboy, good morning, buddy.
How are you, bro?
I am rocking and rolling this morning, man. I can't I can't complain. I mean, I could complain, but who the hell's gonna listen, bro?
Who's gonna listen?
Who wants to listen? Jeez, I wouldn't want to listen to myself.
Nah, bro. You know what complaining does?
What?
Nothing good.
Exactly.
It's I look
Waste
at
of
it.
time.
Go ahead.
It's a waste of time.
Look, if you got a problem, identify the problem, figure out how to fix it.
That's it.
That's a definitely a male mentality. Like, I don't. Fortunately, I married a very logical woman, so there's a certain level of that I actually can exercise. I know a lot of husbands are starting to understand that, okay, my wife is just wanting to talk about this right now. Like, this is going, any married man or a guy who's been in a long-term relationship gets it. Like, sometimes your lady just wants to vent, and it's not your job to fix her problems. It's your job to just listen. Like, we know how that works, all that men, Mars, woman, Venus shit. And that's fine, dude. If you're good at that, it pays off in dividends, dude. Fortunately, like I said, I got a pretty logical wife, and she's willing to actually work through solutions. But long story short, if you got a problem, that's okay. Because if the only kind of people who don't have problems, they're dead. Like, that means you're alive if you got problems. And by the way, if there are problems and you solve them, that's how businesses are started. Like, anytime you can solve a problem, that's great. You can actually turn that into a business. And one of the problems that we solve is helping people develop their algorithms, right? Helping people figure out a way to extract money from these markets. And you could do that on a daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and break out the charts and look at some of these charts and see where people are actually extracting that money from. What do you want to see? You want to look at Bitcoin, V?
Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's it at right now? 63, still bouncing around?
65.8.
Okay, 65.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It after you and I had our talk on Friday, it did jump down a bit. It was being real stubborn, but it did pull down a bit. Did you get a chance to take advantage of that pull down?
Yeah, I got out of like 63.9, 64 and change.
Okay, so you didn't get hurt.
No.
Okay, good. Because I think
that, like what, 61, 50, 68, 58 or something.
Say that again.
How low did it drop on Saturday?
Oh, Saturday. Let me take a look.
What was the Sunday?
Let's see, Sunday. The low, I think, was actually on like late Saturday, and that low was 64.2. Let's see, Friday, kind of like 6 p.m. I should say 8 p.m. It was down to like 63.
Yeah,
and then Thursday, it actually dumped all the way down to 59. But I think you and I talked after that, so
right.
Yeah, but you as long as you didn't get hurt, I know.
No, I didn't get hurt.
So just so you know, folks, what happened was V and I were on the phone, and we saw some unique things in the charts, and it did look like price wanted to go down, and we're going to try to take advantage of that. And so we got, I should say, V got positioned. It was for him and his clients on a pretty large deal. I was impressed with the size of the deal, and I don't know. I think you were able to scrape like a couple % off, right? A few points.
Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, but when you're talking about millions of dollars, a few points adds up. Like it was pretty ballsy call for the gorilla. But it does look like price is going to want to head up. So we're going to take a little bit extra time going past this 640 mark because we started a little bit later. V and I were having a conversation about a certain coin, and we got some good plans for it. And so we started a little bit later. I'm going to go over to the Kingfisher.io. So there is a link in the description for the Kingfisher, and this is a really great solution. I would recommend actually paying for it, but you can use it for free, and you can get a lot more than what I'm going to do right now, which is liquidity, right? So liquidity is what we're going to look at for Bitcoin, and this is where people's liquidation points are. And what that means is that on this chart, whenever it decides to populate, price is going to go towards these kind of levels that you see, right? Like where the green bars, green candles, whatever it is, go up. Price wants to go towards that. And to the downside, the nearest block of these is going to be at 64,600. So let's put a line basically there on the chart.
64.6 is the floor?
Well, 64.6 is not necessarily a floor. 64.6 is where price is going to want to go in the near. But I think it's going to go up before it goes down, just based on what I'm seeing in the charts right now.
Sure.
Let me quick verify that. I'm going to put up a screen here that's going to make some people's eyes cross. But don't worry about this. Half the data you see on the screen, I'm not really using it per se. I just want to see like what direction price wants to go. And yes, I think price is going to want to go up. So let me put this down to the 30-minute chart. Or I shouldn't do that. That's going to confuse people. Let's do on the on like the 3-hour chart. So what do we say? 64.6?
Yeah, 64.6.
So 64.6 is where price is going to want to go. And that's pretty close to price right now. That's just a quick little dip down. Okay. And then to the upside, though, there's a lot more liquidity, and it's kind of almost more of a block, not as much of a spike. And I'd say from 69 to 70 is pretty safe way to map that out. So let's go ahead and do 69 to 70. And I think price is going to want to go there. Okay. So that's a pretty decent block. And right now, I can tell you the charts favor a move up. Okay. And they have since basically it was at a decision-making kind of point on Friday, and now it seems to have made that decision. So price does seem to want to head up. And it might not go in a straight line, but there's a decent probability price is just basically going to go like this. And it might happen a lot more quickly than what I just drew. I mean, this timeline is like out to Tuesday, which is a day. Actually, it's pretty reasonable. So it might be like this, might be a little more quick, might grab, like, let's just say a little liquidity builds up. It might grab liquidity before it goes. Obviously, there is some already at 64,000, but the general movement, the general direction's upwards right now. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I see just in the next day or so. And it could be a lot quicker.
But you're seeing a lot of momentum going up. What's the liquidity like? Can we pull that up in Kingfisher?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll pull that back up. We were just looking.
I might do a multi-million-dollar strike on BTC if it's running up, man.
Well, the number we talked about on Friday was 70,000, and that's where you see this green, that block. Let me zoom in here a little bit.
Is that looking nice and thick?
It's pretty thick, yeah. I mean, it's the closest. I mean, the other way about it is about 64.5, and there is a block. Let's actually say 60. Yeah, 64.5. It's there, and price could dive down to grab that. But again, on the charts, on the algos, price seems to want to go up right now. Now, again, we do talk about a couple of things on. I don't want to reveal too much here on the main chat, but everybody in Algo Factory is going to know what I'm about to show, and they're going to know what it is. You see here this indicator that people in Algo Factory know about. This one's pretty bullish, even though it's in the overbought quote unquote area. That doesn't mean it's going to go down. And in fact, it actually right now still looks very bullish. It's just bullish against resistance. That means that if it does continue to go up, then it's going to, It's just going to kind of like inch up a little more slowly, or it's going to break out, which means that would be a very strong move to the upside. But let me take a quick look at the weekly chart just to make sure that there's not something conflicting.
Yeah.
I know
so there's a lot of momentum going up.
Well, the weekly chart was actually what you and I were concerned about. We looked on Friday, like there's against a lot of resistance. That same indicator, again, people at Algo Factory know what we're talking about here. That's bearish. But the thing is, it's no longer in that overbought area, right? Mm-hmm. So if things are hyper bullish, it could easily get just, crammed up. Even though that's a bearish look, it still is above like 50%. So anytime this indicator, and it's kind of related to the stochastic RSI, it's not, it's a specialized indicator, but it's going to behave similar. And anytime it's above this like zero line right there, then that's going to mean that it's still technically bullish. But it's just, I don't know, man. What I think is probably going to happen with Bitcoin, I mean, if somebody said, hey, gun to your head, tell me what's going to happen. You got to make a trade right now. Like,
I'll tell you what I think before you say what you think.
Go for it.
I think it's gonna. I think we're heading for a small pullback, probably to 63, maybe even 61, and then a sharp rise up. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. But you're seeing what I'm thinking. I'll draw it out on the daily chart. So I think we're going to kind of continue in this range, and that would be just what you said. So basically, you got this range. Price is just range bound, back and forth, more or less. Draw it like that feels better. Price might pop up to 70, might even go a little bit higher, but at some point, unless we see, unless the bulls really kick in, it's probably going to come back down and grab liquidity. I mean, I even like the range being a little bit wider just because we're seeing so many wicks down.
Yeah.
But basically, like low 60s. So probably something like this. Again, that can change. Depends on a lot of things.
Yeah. So the next 48 hours, that's what we should be watching.
I'm seeing the same thing. Next 48, it might take a little longer, but I mean, that's super reasonable though.
Yeah.
48, 72
hours. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're seeing the same thing, which usually means that the probability is good it's going to happen. All right, good. Well, I think we did manage to go ahead and give the public their 10 minutes. What do you say, V? You want to go over to private?
Yeah, let's go over to private, and we'll talk about Ethereum.
Perfect. Get us out of here, Solana. You gonna do the gorilla send off?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys, don't sit on the sidelines wondering if this is for you. Join us, AlgoFactory.tech. Let's go, private cowboy.
Join us or die.